Welcome to Same Work, Different Lens, the podcast where two professionals from the same workplace bring different generations to the same conversation.
We don't always see things the same way, but that's the point. We talk real life, real work, and real community issues.
From family and wellness to leadership, money, and systems that shape our lives.
We're bridging the gap between what was, what is, and what needs to change.
Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Same Work, Different Lens. I'm your host, Kamisha.
And I'm Cassandra.
And today we're talking about back to school and family routine.
Yay.
Back to school is so exciting, but it can also be overwhelming.
Okay, for some.
Families are preparing for new schedules, routines, and expectations. Today's conversation is for parents, grandparents, caregivers, educators, and anyone supporting children and the children too.
You got them all in there, girl.
Yes. So, Cassandra,
Yes.
every generation has experienced back to school season in a different way, right?
Right.
When you hear back to school, what are your thoughts?
Back to school. Honestly, the first thought that came to mind was new clothes.
New
That was the time of
clothes.
the year that my mom went out and bought us new clothes. So we were so excited about wearing those new pieces to school.
Yeah, I think if I think back, or if somebody say back to school right now as an adult, I get stressed out.
Why?
Uh, because the summer is not just relaxing for the kids; it's
Okay.
relaxing for the parents too.
But it stresses you out?
It stresses me out because I start thinking about school clothes, school supplies, bus routes, what time they got to be ready, and standing outside. Is that going to align with my scheduling? And just all the thoughts start running through
That
my
goes
head.
along with going back to school. Yeah, I
Yes.
get that. But it can also be very exciting, and then there are also a lot of decisions that's involved, whether or not my kid gonna be riding the bus or whether or not I have to take them, or do we live close enough for them to walk to school, getting to know the teachers personally and making sure my children will be comfortable in that environment and creating those routines. What about routines? Because during the summertime, you're on a different schedule. Everything
Right.
is very relaxed. But when it's time, go back to school. What does your household look like?
So for me, I am a little bit more lenient during the summer, right? Because during the school year, 8:30, 9 o'clock, we turning in devices.
Okay.
Baths should be taken,
Wow.
clothes laid out,
Okay.
and we getting ready to say prayer and lay it down.
Wow.
But in the summertime, I'm more lax. I allow them to be on their devices a little
Right.
bit longer. And even if I take the devices, they're able to watch TV or just be up and enjoy each other's company. Don't really have a bedtime unless we have somewhere to be the next day.
Right. And I know for a fact you guys do vacations and all that type of stuff. So
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, so as far as routines, I normally try to start at least 2 weeks before school starts back.
Okay.
And I don't just cut them off cold turkey, because that's not cool. I prepare them,
Okay.
by letting them know, hey, it's 2 weeks before school start. Y'all gonna have to start turning those phones in
Yeah,
at
it's
8
difficult.
o'clock.
It's difficult getting back in the routine because we just getting back into the office. We've been working from home. Or working from home routine is totally different from to the office routine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we've all been experiencing that transition for this week for staff. It was like, okay, we back. So then I got to get up a certain time. I can assure you, school supply
Literally one that will be on the sites by now,
right.
looking at the list and all of those things. But buying school supplies can be stressful in today's society.
Okay.
I know last episode we talked about a few of the back to school drives that were happening in
Right.
our community, right?
Right.
But for those who weren't able to make it to those events,
Right.
or mom had to work and nobody was able to take the kid to get whatever it was that they can get.
Right.
um I've just learned
Hmm.
that I will get them the basics for the first week, and then as the week goes on, I'm asking questions, like, well, what is your teacher telling you need? Because what I found is those lists online will be
Come on.
generic lists,
Right.
and you'll go and spend $40 to $60 on something that you see your kid haven't touched at the end of
Mm.
the school year.
Right.
And to be honest, a lot of us just don't have money to waste.
Yeah, I've seen some of those lists, and it's just like, I don't understand why do my child need all of this? Because when I went to school, we needed paper and pencil and a ruler.
Mhm.
That was it. We didn't have all these special calculators and all this special kind of stuff that you needed, and special binders and all that. We didn't have all that. We had paper, pencil, and a ruler.
Well, I will say that when what my experience or
Mhm.
my memories from getting ready for school, maybe that's when the devices can't start coming into play, right? But
Okay.
for me, it was the calculator. Like, you need
Okay.
the calculator that's gonna allow you to put letters and alphabets and
Mhm.
all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, we had to
We
have.
use brain power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we had to have pen, paper,
Mhm.
the norm, but then the calculators was like the major high value thing on that list. Today,
Mhm.
not only are we taking pencils, paper, book bag, notebooks, calculator, they also want you to bring in hand sanitizer and Kleenex
Wow.
and just whatever extra you can send because the schools are lacking.
Right. So, okay. So, based on what you just shared with me, I had not thought about that. There's more pressure nowadays for families for going back to school than it was during my time, huh?
It is. It is. There's a whole lot more expectation from the parents as far as supplies come when it comes time to the classroom. And something that I've seen, like, I know in the beginning of the school year, I'll get, some things on the list. Dad'll get some.
Some young ladies say, parents,
Our mindset change when it comes to
right,
that kind of stuff. And it takes situations to happen like today when we went to the Boys and Girls Club for Children's Week. And we did a paint and talk with them
right.
to really hear how they feel. And most of them talked about their parents not understanding. But Cassandra, if you think about it, wasn't it a song called Parents Just Don't Understand
Was it?
that somebody made
Was
some
it?
years ago? And I'm only bringing it up. We're talking about Will Smith.
Yeah.
I'm only bringing it up to say it's the same issues, right? They just look different because our society is different. The challenges are different,
It
and
is.
our kids are different. So they handle it and they take it differently than we did when we were
Right.
coming up.
And there are so many other different ways for the young people to experience these stresses because of the social media. And so that it created another avenue to get to that young person. So yeah, it's totally different nowadays because we didn't have to worry about that when we was coming up. My age generation, we didn't have those concerns of social media. We didn't know what it was.
Right. I think we kind of spoke on that on the last
Mm,
episode
yeah.
about, the pros and the cons of social media, and that just so happened to be one of the cons. But something I want to encourage
Mhm.
our parents, our guardians, to do is to check in.
Right.
Do a
Thank you.
temperature check with that baby.
Right.
And it don't have to be because something dramatic happened or you saw them and they was looking some kind of way. Just make a conscious effort to check in.
Check in and be open to whatever their struggles may be. Now, there are some signs that you can look for to notice if your child is struggling in some type of way, whether or not how they going dressing, because it means a lot when if your child goes from being very colorful and love pink and yellow and green, all of a sudden everything is black. They become gothic. Yeah, you need to be concerned about. Or if they had a lot of friends, go from having a lot of friends to no friends at all. Those are some things you need to be concerned about. How their sleeping patterns matter. You
Mhm.
know, all of a sudden, the only thing they want to do is stay in the bed. They're not interested in the things that they used to be interested in. Notice those signs, pay attention to those signs, and it's okay for you to tap into other resources in the community to get your young person some help if they need help. You need to key in on it at an early stage before they get deeper and deeper into whatever their issues may be.
I agree, Cassandra. And I just want to reiterate on that
Mhm.
listening part, right?
Okay, go
Like
ahead.
when you checking in with those kids, listen, listen, listen. It
Mm,
is more important for you to listen
mhm,
than for you to talk and
mhm.
try to fix whatever it is
Oh,
that they're
good
telling
point,
you,
good point. Sometimes
right?
they don't want anything to be solved, they just want someone to hear them.
And they want to know that you care to hear what they're
Right,
saying, right?
right, right.
And you're also creating a safe space for your children to talk. So even if
Mhm,
that one thing that they came to you about
mhm.
was small and not real serious, right? What you're
Mhm,
doing is you're setting the tone and you're
mhm.
you're creating that safe space for them.
Right,
So if something more dramatic, more important
right.
comes up, they'll feel comfortable talking to you.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up because don't negate their feelings, period. Like you said, you don't care how small it is. Maybe the tiniest thing you were like, this is nothing. What are you talking about? But don't handle it in that manner. You're so right. Oh, they're not going to come back to you again at all
Right.
about the big things. You're absolutely right. Okay.
You know what else comes to mind when I
What's that?
think about back to school? Routines, 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 routines. And I'm gonna throw a little plug in here since we're
Okay.
about to talk about routines
Okay.
because one of our programs, Parents as Teachers, that we
Mhm,
have here at Augusta Partnership for Children, goes over creating healthy family routines, right?
mhm,
So if you are a parent or you are about to become a parent, your child is between the ages of prenatal to 5 years old, and you're interested in being in our program, please reach out. You can find us on Facebook,
mhm,
Augusta Partnership for Children.
mhm,
You can find us on YouTube that
mhm.
has our information on there as well. And we're also on just pull us up on Google.
Right. And we also at 435 Fairfax Street.
Yes, right
Yeah.
down by the municipal building.
Yes. Yes.
But back to the healthy family routines, right?
Mhm,
We were speaking about, being a little bit more lax during the summer and things like that. Um when I think about routines, when it comes to school, one of the things that I know has been a major help is making them kids pick them clothes out the night before. And cause I pick mine out too,
right.
because that's one of those things that should only take about 10 minutes
Mhm.
that you can end up spending 30, 40, 45 minutes on because nothing looks right to you, right? But if you do it the
Yes.
night before, that's something we can alleviate from having slowing us down in the morning.
Especially for the young ladies, because they're very, very in tune as to how they look or how they want to look. So, yeah. And we know how we are. I'm the same way. I have to lay mine out at night to come into work, or it throws off my whole morning. So you're absolutely right. So it's very important to create that routine for them. What are some of the other routines that can be created to help you out, get the day moving?
So, if you have a child or if you
Hmm.
take lunch to work, to school, pack
Right.
those lunches the night before.
Yes.
Have stuff prepped, ready to go
Right.
for the next morning because you want to limit morning stress and
Right.
create a consistency that will set you and your family up for success.
Right. You're absolutely right. So now that was morning routine. So when they get home from school,
Mhm.
what does that look like?
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Hmm.
Our evening routines, they fluctuate. You know,
Mm.
because I got a baby that's into sports,
Okay.
and I got a drama queen too.
Okay.
And we're getting her in some acting classes. So our evening routines are gonna adjust a little bit because my sports kid, she's also going to high school.
Okay.
So times are gonna be different as far as
Right.
when she gotta be there versus when she's getting out. Really haven't worked those things out yet. In the next couple of weeks, upcoming weeks, we're gonna be talking about that and finalizing some decisions so we can
Mm.
go ahead and create those
Okay.
routines.
Okay. But the basic routines are we gotta eat
Yeah,
and they gonna have to do some homework.
yeah.
Yeah. So no matter about the extracurricular activities that they have, certain things must be taken care of
Well,
in the
yeah, I
evenings. Yeah.
agree, and I guess thinking back on last year, the routine would be I would get off, pick the girls up from their after school program,
Hmm.
we go home, and while I cook dinner, they do homework.
Right.
Then we all eat together
Mhm.
and we start getting ready for bed, taking showers.
Right.
We may watch a little TV. It kind of just depends
Depends
on
on.
what's going on that
Mhm.
evening.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I'm very big on meal preps on Sundays. I'm
Hmm.
very big on that, and that really, even though yes, you're right, I don't have a child, but I feel like if I did, that would still I would make sure that whatever I meal prep would be something that I can have for my young ones as well. So that might be an avenue that some families might consider taking, doing the heavy lifting on the Sunday, and
Hmm.
so that your weeks will be a little bit more relaxed. You won't feel so rushed getting home from work and trying to pull a meal together. You'll have most of it already prepped, throw it in the microwave or oven or whatever, and that's good to go. And you could be doing that while the young working on the homework, that type of thing. So I think it's very important to have a routine set up so that the child will know what they expect to do. So it won't be in the arguing anything. When you get home, you know you got to put this away, put your backpack away, pull out any papers you need to pull out your backpack. Let's get ready for the next day. Let's prep.
Yeah, I agree. And our kids, their brains are still developing.
Mm-hmm.
And by creating these routines and
Mm-hmm.
sticking to them, it's also going to help build responsibility with them, right?
Right.
So in the event that somebody else got to pick them up for the evening, it's
Yeah.
not chaotic because they know what's expected of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that, I was just
Mm-hmm.
talking about my teenager going to high school,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about parenting through these transitions because
What does that look like?
I was excited when the school year ended, right? Like
Right.
I was excited, like, yo, I'm about to have a high schooler. And then I'm getting sad.
Because your baby growing up.
Yes, my baby is growing up. And I'm not gonna lie, middle school was so challenging
Mm-hmm.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I say us because it was challenging for her because she was the one going through it. However, thank God she went through it.
Yeah, that's normally the time when they're trying to find themselves. Yes.
And it was challenging for me because I never parented a teenager,
Right.
and
Right.
there's no book for this.
Mhm.
There's no guideline. You can call auntie, sister, cousin, big mama, all of them, and they're
Mhm.
gonna give you sound advice based off of their lived
Right.
experiences, right? But you have to figure out what works for you
Because
and
every
yours.
child is different.
They
And you,
are.
yeah, so every child is parentally different. So what may have worked for theirs may not work for yours. So you guys have to come together and figure that one out yourselves.
Yeah, I think, and some of those big transitions, right, is your baby
Mm.
going to kindergarten. That's the
Mhm.
first one.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you see them grow up a little bit or whatever. And then the one that I'm going through, my baby going from middle school to high school.
Yeah. Oh, she growing up, becoming a young lady.
And then from high school to college.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just feel like, all of those are major transitions that kids and their parents go through.
And it's a lot of transitioning because not only they growing up, you come to a certain point in your life, but then we got to think about the finances that go along with each transition. It's a lot. It's a heavy, especially when they transition from high school to college. That's a pretty hefty, heavy lift there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why these transitions affect parents just as much as they affect children.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
but the only thing you do is just stay in there, hang in there, and you're gonna work it out. I promise you.
I think so as a parent, being in that position, I think some of the things that parents experience,
Mhm.
the good thing that I talked about at the end of the year, right? Pride. I was so proud. I was proud of her.
It's proud
She
of her.
she did an amazing job. And like I said, though it was challenging, she got through there.
What about worry?
And now the worry has set
Okay.
in because I
Okay.
know my baby, right?
Mm.
And I know what challenges she had. And I'm very confident that she learned some lifelong lessons that she will
Mhm.
take with her
Right.
to help, future situations that come up. But I worry. I worry about
Absolutely.
letting my baby go and allowing her to experience things on her own.
But you're gonna have to let them go. That's the only way. You're gonna have to let them go
I
and
know that.
experience life because they cannot grow unless you let them step out there and grow. They got to find their little niche. How they
Yeah.
gonna find their niche if you just keep them up under your wings all the time like that?
And this summer, I've been learning
Mhm.
how to trust her,
Okay.
how to trust her to do what it is that she needs to do without my help, in my absence, and still be okay standing on her
But
own.
isn't that the growing process anyway?
It is. I'm just
Okay.
saying, Cassandra, I wasn't ready. It's like this my first time. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right. Okay. All right. So now, work-life balance. Let's talk about the balance because that's important for us as adults as well as for the young person. They need balance as well. Yeah. Yes, school is very important, but they need other interests besides just going to school. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I think when you say work life balance,
Mhm.
some of the things that come to mind, right? Um, Working parents,
Mm,
multiple schedules,
mm,
sports,
mm,
homework, meal planning,
mm.
transportation,
How do you find the time?
church,
How do you find the time?
friends,
How?
uh, just all of the things, right? I think what's important is to keep in mind, it's okay to not be at everything.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay to say no.
Okay.
Um, and I guess to each his own, right? Like you just gotta find what works for you. But whatever that is, make sure that there's some self-care. Because if you don't take care of yourself throughout
How?
this whole process,
Right.
everything else gonna fall apart.
Right. Because if you don't take care of yourself, how you gonna take care of others? It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So you right. Work left life balance. Like I said though, not only for you, but for the child as well. They need balance in their life. School, well, let's call their school life balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's more to it than just homework all the time. It's more to it than just sports all the time. Some kids get so caught up in their sports that they're playing, they forget about other aspects of their lives as well. And so it's important, I think, for parents to reel them in a little bit and say, hey, look, I understand baseball, football, whatever is important, but we got this over here too going on. So I want you to experience it all and not just one thing.
Yeah. Do you think that parents can really achieve work life I mean work life balance?
No,
You know.
I don't think you ever achieve it because there's always something going on. And we can only give out for so much. And especially when you have children, it's a little easier for me because I don't have any children. And so it's easier for me to do the work-life balance because I don't have those extra obligations. And so, but for the parent, and especially for single parents, I don't know how they do it.
Hmm.
I really just don't know how they do it. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get that balance. You know, they want to go out and be doing other things in their interest, but how they gonna fit the time in?
I think one of the things that help with work life balance, right, is building your own village.
Mm,
Um, I guess I you can correct me if I'm wrong,
mhm,
but maybe back when you were growing up,
mhm.
um, it wasn't called the village.
No,
It was just your neighbor.
yeah, up the street. I
It
remember
was your
mine.
friend's mom that stayed
Mm,
down the street.
right,
It
exactly.
was Miss such and such from the store
Mhm,
around the
right.
street. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
right.
And today I feel like we're missing that, right? But I want us as a people to get back to that.
It's hard though. You can't trust anyone nowadays. We used to be able to trust the neighbors up the street and around the corner, but nowadays, not so much.
Why do you think that is?
I don't understand what's going on, what happened along the way that we moved away from that. Because when I was coming up, my mama didn't have to worry about where I was going. When I got off that school bus, she knew I was going up the street to the neighbor house, and she knew she did not have to worry about us at the neighbor house. Now we can't send our kids nowhere.
Mm,
Period. We used to have what they call those latchkey kids. You can't
mm,
have that anymore
mm.
because somebody's watching your child go into the house by themselves. So they know there's no adult in there. It's just so different in this climate that we're living in now.
It is. And I don't have all the answers, right? Or we
Mm.
don't have all the
No, we
answers.
don't.
However, um, that work-life balance that we talked about,
Mhm.
it becomes something that's easier to obtain when you, one, have routines,
Okay.
two, establish a village,
Right.
and three, utilize and be a part of your community.
Right.
Right? Because schools, teachers, counselors, after school programs, mentors,
Mhm.
churches,
Right.
community organizations like Augusta Partnership for Children,
Oh, all right now.
libraries, youth programs, grandparents, trusted neighbors, all of
Right.
those that I named and more
Yeah. Out there.
are out there
Yeah.
and can be a part of that village to
Right.
help you with your work-life balance,
Right.
to help when you got things going on with your kid and you can't reach them. Maybe someone in one of those organizations or that hold one of those titles are able to reach your
What's
kids.
that old thing they used to say, a closed mouth don't get fed? So if you don't let people know that you need some help, you're not going to get the help that you need. You got to go out and talk and like you say, engage in your community to see what's out there, what's available to you.
That's true. And let me just say this too, because though there are some people who are afraid to ask for help or don't open their mouth,
Mm-hmm.
when the people do it,
Mm-hmm.
help with a giving heart.
Right.
Don't be in a position
Mm-hmm.
where you're able to help someone out, make their life easier, solve one of the issues that they have, make them more self-sufficient, and you holding on to it like it's yours.
Right.
Or you have an unwelcoming spirit or something like that, because that turns people away.
Right.
And then we end up somebody having a
Right.
big event and it wasn't a good turnout because
Right.
of the people
Because
who
right.
represent that organization. And I'm not speaking about any organization in
No, you
particular.
just
I'm just saying, you know,
plant
like,
your seeds so people would know, because I
yeah,
know how I felt when I had to go and ask others for help. So make it a safe environment for me to feel comfortable enough to come to you for assistance, trusting that you're not going to hold it against me, make me feel some kind of way because I'm having to come to you for assistance.
right,
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like we have had a good
Absolutely. It's
conversation
been
today. And you know how I
wonderful.
want to end this segment,
How?
Cassandra? Let's play a little game.
Ooh, a game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
So I'm gonna ask you a few questions
Sure.
and you give me the first answer that comes to mind.
Okay.
And
I'm ready.
then you can ask me some.
Okay.
So what's your favorite school lunch?
Spaghetti.
Favorite subject?
English.
Least favorite subject?
Math.
School bus or car rider?
I love the bus. I'm not lying. I do.
A book bag or backpack? What is the difference?
I don't see a difference. But I never had a book bag. I had a backpack. So
Okay.
okay.
New shoes or new clothes?
Oh, new clothes. I'm a clothes hoarder. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Your
All right.
turn.
Okay, your turn. Okay. Paper planner or phone calendar?
Paper planner.
Pack lunch or you want to buy your lunch?
Pack lunch.
Morning routine or organized chaos?
Morning routine.
Okay. Favorite back to school memory?
I think my favorite back to school memory is probably like the first 2 or 3 days because no work got done. Everybody was sharp, and y'all
Right.
don't know what that mean. That mean clean,
Clean, right.
fresh, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, from head to toe.
Mhm.
New dudes,
Mhm.
everybody, you know, telling you about what you done did over the summer and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's my
Okay.
favorite school memory.
Okay. Now, before drop off, coffee?
Absolutely not. I don't drink no coffee.
What do you? Oh, I know what you like. Go ahead and tell the people. Tell the people.
So I like Red Bull,
Okay.
and I know it ain't good, right?
Absolutely
But
not.
it's good.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't do coffee.
Okay. All right.
Well, that was a fun game.
Okay. Thank you. That was
Yes.
fun.
You know, our hope is that today's conversation reminded you that
Mhm.
parenting does not require perfection. It only requires presence.
Whether you're raising children, helping grandchildren, mentoring youth, or supporting families in your community, remember that the small things you do each day make a lasting difference. Consistent love, encouragement, and simple routines can help children feel secure, confident, and ready to succeed.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Same Work, Different Lens. Thank you for listening to Same Work, Different Lens.
Two professionals, two generations, one evolving community.